And now, on with the show. And now, on with the show. And now, on with the show.
Exactly what kind of a lawyer are you? Really good one. Vigilantes are not heroes. Yeah. Daredevil, Born Again, only on Disney Plus.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Superlair. We are here for Daredevil Born Again, Season 1, Episode 4. My brother, JG Shaolin. How you doing today, man?
Hey, man, I'm ecstatic. I'm feeling pretty good, man. I was tired earlier, but I appreciate you coming out to check me and Hawk out while we were testing things for the GGC channel. And that kind of woke me up through conversation. And now I'm ready to dine. Some good food in Hell's Kitchen. Let's go.
Man. We are ready. We're about 3 minutes out from the episode. After a rough start to us with the first 2 episodes, we were happy. We're very happy to report that episode 3 delivered. We liked it. It's the start of something promising. And we're really hoping that episode 4 follows through and gives us more of what we liked from episode 3. We are looking forward to this. I know we are very much looking forward to this, and that is helped by the Daredevil Twitter account confirming that Jon Bernthal is going to show up as Punisher in this episode. I didn't know how soon we were going to get him, but we're going to see him in some way, shape, or form in this episode, so that is hype because Jon Bernthal is one of the best comic book castings, period, of all time.
Yes.
I mean, just one of the most raw, genuine, real performances that an actor is given a comic book role, and just to see him come back, it's insanely exciting. And to see that Matt Frank dynamic is gonna be fantastic. I don't know how much we're getting of him in this episode, but to hear him say, "Hey Red" again, like it's gonna be hype, dude. I'm ready. Time to get punished, yes sir. Uh, let's hope they're not bamboozling us with false hope that Punisher will show up, because that will really make me upset. I could believe it could be like the last maybe 10 or 5 minutes where Matt
Yeah.
goes to see Frank and they sort of like tease, and then in the next episode, they really give us that conversation that we've heard in TV spots. I could believe that, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Gonna have to wait till tomorrow to watch, but can't wait to hear your thoughts. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for showing up. It's fingers crossed it's gonna deliver like last week. We want this to work out, and episode 3 was the start of something. So let's just continue with that. Let's cross our fingers that this episode is good, with or without Punisher, for sure. Just
Yeah.
keep on that trajectory, and we're gonna be very happy, and be with everyone else, which will be a nice feeling. John Bernthal was born to play Punisher. He really was. Best Punisher, hands down. One of the best comic book castings just ever. He's just so phenomenal in this role. It's so versatile, so layered. He could be the meanest guy, the most badass guy, but he could be just really soft and genuine, and just really nice and charismatic. He balances it perfectly. Yeah, I'm ready. And with that being said, the episode has dropped. So it's time.
Let's do it.
Yep, the thumbnail is John Bernthal's Punisher. All right. So let me start up this Google Meet link and we'll get into it.
All right. Link is clicked. Let's join.
All right, you're in. We're good to go.
Go.
Without further ado, let's do this. Daredevil Born Again, Season 1, Episode 4. No way.
It's starting out already.
They're showing Angela who takes up the mantle.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Hope they age her up when she finally wears it, because that little thing.
Right. I didn't think they would do that. I didn't think they would do that. That's interesting. Muse, yes.
So far, the start is got me excited.
I'm liking it, dude.
I just love this intro, man. Just mentioning the Heights, bro. I spent all my summers when I was younger in the Heights, watching the Heights.
It hits, man. I think they nailed that aspect. Written by David Feige.
Interesting.
That's new. Hmm.
No, that was funny.
Scroll reference. Interesting. That's why we love Matt. I love it.
Yep.
Hmm. Yeah, man. Mad as Savage. Why did you drag me to this?
Yeah, thanks.
Maybe Vanessa isn't all bad.
Dude, that impression is spot on. I swear.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
No way.
Wow.
Oh god. Insane glazing. I'd like to see it happen again.
Me too. Because to me, he's in the way. Off with his head.
Oh man, this is the scene. Let's go. Yes. The GOAT. Uh-oh.
Fight, 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 fight.
Mm. Oh man. Mm.
Mm.
Oh. Yes, seeing the suits.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Just keeps going, and I'm here for it.
So I thought it was
You could have,
over.
you could have ended it at like 2 different points. But Muse, let's go. Oh, nah. Dude. Oh, man. Wow. All right, so let me pull up an image. I got perfect one right here. All right. Daredevil Born Again, Season 1, Episode 4. Of course, we enjoyed Episode 3, and we were hoping that it would, you know, stay on that course, keep that trajectory, and just build upon what we liked and all this. And this episode was so good, dude. Oh man, what a relief. What a relief that after a rough first 2 episodes that it's doing what I want it to do. It's building, it's gelling together its ideas, not perfectly executed, but it's continuing to get better. Yeah, man, what a good episode. Where to even begin with this? Let's just get the elephant in the room out of the way. Punisher, John Bernthal is back, and funnily enough, 9 years ago today, Daredevil season 2 released on Netflix, and we got one of the most compelling, greatest scenes in any comic book project, which is Matt and Frank on the roof talking about their differences of philosophy, how they handle their vigilantism and morality and all this. And it's I literally could hear them just talk to each other for hours. It's so incredibly compelling, and I was hoping we'd get more of that in this new iteration of the show. And hands down the best episode, hands down the best scene of any episode that we've seen so far is this scene right here, where Matt confronts Frank and they're just talking about, they're catching up. Matt is trying to figure out what's going on with the corrupt cops, and it just spirals into pushing Matt's buttons, and Frank, oh man, it's just so well executed. Say his name, Foggy, and Matt's afraid to say it, and then how it relates to Frank and his kids, his wife, which is Punisher is just one of the best written characters in any comic book project because he's so real, he's so raw, and they carried that here. Like it's a great scene. You see Matt just vulnerable. He hits Frank, and Frank is like, he's like, I respect that. That's the most real you've ever been. They have their differences, but they've come to an agreement. I kind of like that. I like that there's an understanding between the two of them, and they're not like, trying to kill each other. They're on the same side, but they have some inherent differences of how to go about things. And just that dynamic, man, wonderful, beautiful. But I'm gonna ramble about this episode, but JG, I want to hear your thoughts about. We need to have a discussion about this Punisher stuff. What'd you think?
Well, no, John Bernthal, I've always said, is probably one of the most underrated actors in Hollywood. He is so good. Everything he's been in, he's so good. Even Fury, the little small role he had, brilliant in that role. So seeing him, because I mean, let's face it, we kind of knew that's where Matt was going, right? When he picks up the bullet, he's walking, he's like, okay, yeah, it's about to happen. That's kind of, I think you kind of mentioned, like, hey, it's a couple times you could have ended the episode, and that could have been a cliffhanger ending right there if they did end it before he got there. But yeah, he runs out and just jacks him up in his voice and just that gritty look. That is Punisher. You said it yourself. That is Punisher. The best Punisher we've seen. It's probably the best Punisher we're ever going to see. I don't see anybody talking.
I think you're right. I can't. I think they've perfectly captured what they need to.
And I love that dynamic between them, right, where Frank has already seen the light already, right? Matt is still struggling with, because he even mentioned, like, justice will prevail, right? And Frank's like, look, dude, are you okay with Bullseye breathing the same air as you? Right? And it was like, it hit him. It's like, damn. He's
so
right.
good.
So good, right? And their philosophies, even though they're different, the both of them had the same goal, which is make sure justice prevails. But like I mentioned, Matt is still kind of blind, no pun intended, blinded by the fact that, look at what happened to White Tiger. He said it in the show, like, hey, he was found innocent, he's still gunned down. All right. The guy he's representing for stealing the whatever, he makes a point to be like, look, they want to put me in jail, spend all this money on me for this, right? Now, you know, even when Frank talks about Foggy, that's the first time we've seen him actually show some type of emotion, right? Because in all the episodes, even after his death, or before his, after the time skip, he showed no emotion. He was going about his day. Mentions Foggy's name, all of a sudden tears get ready to start flowing out. So it comes to, how can I put it? When it comes to any heroes, right? They all have ideals. The no-kill philosophy, right? Where you're here to establish justice. Now, I think I said it after the first episode we saw. It's all well and good until it's on your doorstep. And then everything goes out the window. We see him throw Bullseye off the roof, right? And so, man, now I will say there was a little point in here where I was like, okay, where's it getting? Where's it going, right? That's usually at the psychiatrist or whatever, right? The whole counselor session. Yeah, I hope they go somewhere with that. I'm still thinking that she is like a massive high behind something and wants Kingpin dead so she can take over. I really think that's where she's trying to go. But if they're not going to do that, it's pretty much a waste. The leak, we know it's BB. We know BB leaked that information.
Oh yeah.
And so, and when Kingpin or Mayor Fist is down there eating, and the guy's yelling, I'm like, okay, is that old boy? Is that guy the guy he said he's gonna forgive? No, it's another guy, Adam, right? So I'm like, damn, I wish they just killed that guy off because he's in the way for me. Yeah, man, this was a really good episode. They still have some stuff to clean up. They still have things they can fix.
Oh yeah.
But all in all, and I said, if you're gonna have a dialogue-driven show, at least do something with the dialogue. And I think they did a pretty good job with it.
Yeah, I'm so glad that Disney was able to perfectly replicate what makes the Punisher the Punisher. Yeah, every line that was coming out of his mouth was like, yeah, that they are perfectly capturing and perfectly encapsulating what makes Punisher Punisher. John Bernthal loves this character to his core. He said he wouldn't come back unless they did it right. And he wants to maintain the integrity of the character. He knows the significance of this character to law enforcement, military, to the fans. And he's, again, the most raw, genuine portrayal that you can give. Like, I think you're right. Like, this is going to be the best Punisher that we're ever going to get. It's just the most real and most, like, it's perfect. It's straight up perfect. So that scene was great. I was like grinning. I was grinning ear to ear. I was like, they nailed it. This is exactly what I wanted regarding this dynamic. And my boy's coming back. Like, this is just the beginning. It's incredibly exciting that this is just the start. We're definitely going to be jumping around in terms of
that's some more stuff I just thought about too.
Yeah. I mean, let's, we talked about the elephant in the room. Let's get back to the titular character with Matt Murdock. I love Matt in this episode. He's so fun. He has like an attitude to him. He has that classic sass. And I love that scene where he's talking, trying to get this guy probation. That's what we love about Matt, is that, he's incredibly well versed with the law, and he breaks it down. He's talking about, petite, and he's like justifying everything. He knows it in his core, and he's at work, man, and we love to see Matt at work. So that was great. And what's good about this episode is that, we have a larger plot here. We're building to something, but the show is doing a good job of showing like the core of New York, the root of New York, the incredibly ground level, the most ground level we've ever been in the MCU, in terms of not only the BB report, but the I don't even remember this guy's name, but the black dude, he stole the caramel corn. And at first I was like, what's happening right now? Like,
Exactly.
is this a moment of levity? Which it was kind of, partially played for that. Like, where are we going with this? And, they explore it, and it's more than meets the eye in terms of food stamps and he just wants a good meal. He wants to enjoy himself, and what's wrong with the system, basically. And Matt thinks he has it all figured out, but he's sitting there and he's listening. And he's like, you could tell that there are gears turning, that he's understanding what he's saying, and it's not black and white. There's a gray area, and there's stuff to learn there, which I thought was, good. It's good to explore these aspects. Staying with Matt, the opening was good. I was wondering how they were going to handle the White Tiger situation. Seeing Angela like cast and appear, I wasn't expecting that. You're right. They're gonna cast older, I'm sure. But yeah, we have the foundation laid, and she's next in line, which is pretty cool to see. And she's hugging Matt, and you could clearly tell that Matt's affected by this. He has to listen to a child who just lost her uncle. Like, these are the realities of the situation, realities of the job that are sinking in. And that's what we love to see out of, this show, both iterations. So that was good. Where to jump next? I mean, there's a lot to break down, and I love that. I love that we're enjoying it. We're getting something out of it, which is what we wanted. It's coming together after the first 2 episodes, which makes me so relieved and so happy. We can jump to. We did talk about Matt. We could jump to the Kingpin and Vanessa stuff, which is. How would I say? It's not bad, but I did find myself, like, when we have these compelling scenes with Matt and then we jump to like the B plot, I found myself like, oh man, I really want to stick with the A plot. It's not as compelling. Like, yeah, they're fleshing out Vanessa. They're exploring the relationship between the two of them. I get it. It's not as compelling. But I will say, on the Mayor Fist side of things, which was really doing nothing for me in the second episode, I was not invested at the time. It's getting better. The Mayor Fist situation. The kid singing to him was something. Like, we already knew off the bat how he was really feeling. Like, oh, here's another one. I'm all right. I'm good. That was a good moment of levity. And, he has plans. Red Hook, you see him lay out his plans. You see him trying to make moves and him trying to accomplish things. And I'm finding myself more interested in that aspect, which I was not in the second episode. So that's good. And then, obviously we know Kingpin is falling back into his old ways, which we see at the end of the episode. Like, I think we all knew, like, Adam was cooked, bro. Like, I actually love the performance when Fist was sitting on the couch and he's like tearing up. He's breaking down because Vanessa means everything to him. You mess with that, you're cooked. Like, I felt that. I believe that. So when he was in the cage, I was not surprised at all. Poor Adam. Yeah, man. Someone should have told him what was up, but he's just sitting
Adam
there.
knew the risk. He knew the risk.
Well, he's made his bed. He's got to lie in it now. But Fisk is eating his dinner, classic Kingpin. And he hasn't killed him yet. I find that interesting. Like, he's trying to change, he's trying to be different, but he's on the verge. I like that. I like that he hasn't fully crossed yet. Compared to Matt, the duality there, the similarities there, it's effective, it works. Where Matt, he can't sleep. He just had a emotionally draining conversation with Frank, and he has that fire in him. He goes to the roof. He's playing with his billy clubs. He looks at his suit. Like, the buildup is there, and I'm liking it. Again, I think it was weak execution in the first 2 episodes, but they're improving it and they're doing something with it. And they could do more with it in the future to where it retroactively, I maybe feel a different way. So things are building, and I'm liking it a lot. Let's see. I guess finally, before I let you go on about more what you thought about the episode, Muse. We got some Muse. We obviously know who Muse is, as revealed in episode 2, I believe. But the vibes are there. I'm liking the vibes a lot. He's creepy. He's unsettling. He's carrying bodies to his underground lair. He's experimenting. Like, they just set a general tone of what's to come, and I like that a lot. I like that the episode could have ended at like 3 different points, and they just kept going. Yeah. And it wasn't like, oh man, can they just end this episode already? I'm like, yes, they're setting up more things. Give me more. You could have ended it with Matt and Frank's conversation. You could have ended it with Fisk and Adam. You could have. They did end it with Muse. I just like the structure there. He has aura, and to see Daredevil suit up, man, like, it's gonna get real fast, and it's working. Bottom line, it's working for me now. Again, the flaws are still there. Maybe they could be fixed. Maybe not. We're gonna see. But episode 3, episode 4, like, I'm happy. I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to the next episode. This is so relieving, that I don't feel the way I did with the first 2 episodes. It's so relieving, man. You guys think that Daniel is going to be James Wesley 2.0, or he's going to double cross him? I like that scene between the 2 of them. Yeah. Bro is an absolute glazer, but I like that. There are different approaches to handle things, and Daniel genuinely believes in Fisk and what he's doing. And he's ride or die. He's loyal. And Fisk is like, he's on the verge, but he's not going to break. He's a little more understanding. He's like, loyalty. I haven't really had that since like Wesley. But this is the start of something for him. So he's going to give him a chance. And then, he puts his hand on his shoulder. Like I said, he's on the verge. And you can see him wincing. You can see him like ready to break. Mm-hmm. It's like, you do that again, you know what's going to happen, which I thought was good. I think it was well executed. I think it's just a well executed episode. I'm invested emotionally. I'm interested in the plot lines. Other plot lines are more interesting than others, but we can see them explored more over time. Like, I think Matt and Heather, they do have chemistry. Heather is kind of like I don't know, a basic character so far. Same thing goes with Kirsten. Mm-hmm. And we didn't even see Cherry in this episode. Kirsten, we got a little voiceover. I kind of like that. I like they're serviceable characters. There's nothing really going on. They may not even be fleshed out enough. So getting really to the meat and potatoes of this episode, which is Matt during the day, handling the legal situations, him as a lawyer, the intricacies of that, and then, going to his guilt of Foggy, him meeting Frank, you know, him starting to have that fire lit within him. Then you go to Kingpin and his mayor stuff, and there's just a lot of buildup that I'm believing, that I'm liking. And it's like I said, it's meat and potatoes. It's like we're getting into the thick of it, and I'm invested. I like it. Good episode, very good episode, man.
Yeah,
very good episode. I think you're gonna like it more than episode 3, because episode 3 was like straight, you know, legal procedural law and order, like you said. This has that partially, but it also has like the dialogue that you would crave from Netflix Daredevil, you know, the interactions between Matt and Frank, you know, more, you know, it has more of a balance. Yeah, man, it's good. It's good. It's really only Cherry, Kirsten, and Heather that just feels bland, but I'm starting to warm up to Daniel. Yeah, like when they were in the club, I was like, I don't know. It's like trying to strike like the younger demographic. I don't know. I was least interested in that. That like C plot. The scene with Daniel and Fisk talking to each other, that was good. Like, they're serviceable characters. I'm not really caring about them. You know, hopefully they do something with them. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. No, it was still boring, but better than last episode. Interesting.
Like, he didn't like the Penguin either, so it makes sense for why he doesn't like this.
True that. That is suspicious for sure. Trying way too hard to cater to Gen Z. Yeah, that was a bit boring. Yeah, like in episode 2, where BB's talking about like, I can help you achieve this demo, and in this episode they're hitting the nightclub, you know, and I don't know, like it's just not. I don't know. I just want to get to the good stuff, you know. It definitely feels that way. They're trying to flesh out these younger characters, and I don't know. It doesn't feel. I'm not invested basically. But you know, JG. You know, I've gone over my overall thoughts. You know, anything more you want to say in terms of you know, different scenes, different aspects to it?
Yeah, you brought up Angela, and I knew it was something I forgot. I don't care. Was she in the last episode? It's like a little cameo in a way. I think I can remember, but
I can't remember either. But
yeah, I remember a little girl there. Anyway, don't matter. Anyway, you have in this episode 3 people kind of challenged, you know, Matt's kind of mindset, his ideas, right? Because when he was defending White Tiger, one thing he said to him was, you know, there's another way to achieve justice, right? Without having to put on a mask, without being a vigilante in a way. And now that whole philosophy is challenged in this episode, where Angela says, you know, he's just another guy from the Heights. They don't care about him. He was never gonna be treated fairly, basically, right? You have the black guy. We're just gonna call him the black guy. We don't know who his name is. Saying to Matt, like, hey, so you think it's right that they're willing to spend all this taxpayer money to put me in jail for 10 days? Like, come on, you know something wrong with that. Even though that whole conversation, Matt's like, you're right. And then we have Frank challenge him again. Now that he's challenged, we see towards the end of the episode, he opens up. You see his suits. He's practicing with his weapons, right? And in a lot of different shows, right, where you have whether they're a serial killer who's living a double life or vigilante living a double life like they're doing, they need that space to kind of be who they are in a way, right? Where we see Fisk go down that little sanctum, whatever you want to call it, where he can kind of be kingpin for a second, right? Because he's breaking throughout this whole episode.
yeah,
he's breaking, right? Especially when the kids are singing that song, whatever. That it was hilarious. He's like, "Oh my god, you said it!" Like, dude, get me out of here, right? And
not
like,
just once, but twice.
No. Yeah, right.
That was like such a good moment of levity.
Yep. And you see him in his office with all the people, and he's going off. He's trying his best to keep Kingpin locked, but it's coming out. It's really starting to come out. And because we've seen in every episode where we see Fisk, he's shown that I can go that route if I need to get something done. Now, Kingpin is really starting to leak out of him. And we also seen that Matt is slowly becoming Daredevil again. And I'm really hoping we see more of that in this next episode to come. What else was I thinking of? Muse, of course. I mean, I always say this is Hell's Kitchen. I need darkness. I need that grittiness, right? I love that profanity they're using, right? It is so New York to me. Of course, you know about it much more than I would, but from my times there, it is so New York. It's a really good episode. Would I say it was better than the last episode?
It's tough because that
It's tough.
that Matt Frank conversation that lasted I don't know 3-4 minutes, like it's the best scene of the show so far. Like it's like it's great. I mean, both are like so good that I don't even want to pin them against each other. I just want to be like, thank God this is working. I think that's like the bottom line, that we have changed our tune, happily so. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
Exactly. So if you take that scene out of it, I would probably say they're about neck and neck. But now that the scene's in there, yeah. Now the show as a whole still is kind of lackluster compared to the Netflix series that we've seen. But like you said, it's going in the right direction so far for me. Well, I'm actually interested. I know Daniel was mentioned in the comments. I think that he's going to turn on BB. I think that because he talked about being in the club and how, he was drinking and all this. Who was he talking to the whole time? 2 people. BB is really the only one that was kind of keeping that conversation going. I think that he's going to flip her, turn her, because Fitz said himself, I think it was the last episode, bring BB in, I need her. What did he say this episode? I want to know who the leak is. We know it's BB. I think her time is right. Her days are numbered. I think she's going off with her head. I think she's going to be the next one gone.
Just like her uncle.
Yeah. I think she's going to be gone. I hope not. But yeah, I think she's going to be gone. She's out of here.
I have the answer. I don't know if you want me to say it, though.
Go ahead and say it. Oh, before you say it. Now, I have been very Switzerland when it comes to Unzo. I have not called him out of his name. I have not called him a clown. I have not mentioned, you said my caption about him at all. Unzo, if you choose violence, I'm your Huckleberry. If you choose violence, I'm your Huckleberry. That's all I got to say. Continue, good sir.
So would you like to know?
I would like to know.
All right. She's returning in season 2. So she will not be killed off or anything like that this season. I feel like her. It's kind of hard to get a read on her. I'm not really that interested in her character so far, but if she's anything like her uncle, which, I'm starting to think they're gonna, she's gonna follow in the footsteps of her uncle. Like, I think her moral compass is like too strong to be swayed. And I think she's in the pursuit of like truth and justice and following in her uncle's footsteps. But I don't know. We'll see what they do with her. Do something, because she's kind of my issues. Well, I didn't mean to cut you off. My issues with these new characters is, what's their purpose? What's the point? Yeah,
of it? Like, you're really giving them nothing. They're like in the way for me.
Yeah,
right now.
I should be like, oh, Ben Urich's niece. That's so cool. I'm excited to see that story continue. because Ben Urich was a great character. Right now, I'm not feeling like anything. Like she's associated in name only. I need you to do more to get me invested. And Karen Page has deep ties with Urich, and Ellison. That's starting to bring up like my canon itch. Like if you really want to flesh her out, and you really got to embrace canon, which we'll see. But it is a thing of like old and new footage. What did they think was best to tackle? What did they look the other way to? Questions for sure. I just hope in season 2 these side characters can actually be fleshed out and not just plot device only existing to service the story. Absolutely. That's how I feel right now. Foggy, Karen, those are my goats. Can't just get rid of them for side characters that are really generic and basic and stuff like that. You got to get me in. Hey, nice to see you in here, man. Thanks so much for subbing. Love what you're doing on your channel. I didn't say anything, but you don't want this smoke. I'm getting real Matt and Frank vibes over here. So is this any good? The first 2 episodes were not good. They weren't straight bad, but I don't think they were good. But episode 3 and episode 4, really, really good. I think it's finding its footing. And if it just continues on this course, I'm gonna be happy with it. It's not gonna be Netflix Daredevil, but it's something that I could walk away from and be like, I enjoyed this. There's definite room for improvement, but we have something here. Got me intrigued. If you're a Daredevil guy, Netflix Daredevil guy, those first 2 episodes might not work for you, but largely, especially with the additions of the 3rd and the 4th episode, I think everyone is like people like us that were unsure and on the fence about it. Like we're currently being won over, which is good, and I'm seeing that a lot on social media. Very, very positive. And just stay that course. There's a lot of promise. But it does seem like that they've found their footing. Just trying to think of anything else. There's so much good in here, which is nice to say.
I would say the only real bad for me is the I'm trying to think. Of course, the therapy sessions, mainly because we don't know where they're going with it. We have speculation for me, which is she's using this to play with his head and eventually try to get rid of him. That's just my theory. But other than that, right now I think it's more of a waste of space if they don't do anything with it.
Yeah, they might, but like it fleshed out Vanessa in terms of her backstory and what Fisk, leaving, like how that impacted her. But I do think it's the weakest link in terms of, it can feel like spouting exposition, and you do want to get to the stuff that you really, really want to see in terms of Matt, Frank, the legal aspects, obviously the Daredevil action aspects. They do have to do something with it. Because right now it's sort of just like, episode to episode, we watched it. We're like, yeah, okay, that they're in therapy. But I'm not compelled. I'm not like, oh man, this is like such a great, exploration. I'm like, yeah, we'll see where it goes, I guess.
Yeah. Like I said, still has room to grow, but it's heading in the right direction for me.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm currently looking at John Bernthal kind of talking about his return as Punisher. I know the Daredevil Daredevil Twitter account just released like a new like poster of Punisher. John Bernthal says he didn't like how Frank Castle was written in the pre-overhaul version of Daredevil Born Again. It was not something I was really interested in doing. So we had to walk away. They really brought me into the conversation. We really got specific about where Frank is psychologically, where Frank's at physically, which is like, yeah, absolutely. There are some actors that are so intrinsically linked with their characters that you got to make them like executive producers. You got to get them into the conversation. You see that with Tom Holland and Spider-Man. You see that with RDJ and Iron Man. And, the fans love you so much, and you're cementing yourself in this role so much that you just naturally are a part of the conversation. The fact that he wasn't a part of the conversation before is like, you can't do that, man. You cannot screw up Punisher. He's one of the most important comic book characters ever in terms of, what he means. And they really nailed it in this episode. And we didn't even really talk about the great news that, special presentations are back. We've done watch parties for Werewolf by Night, which was great. I don't think people talk about that one enough. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special was really fun. Special presentations are universally loved. So I'm happy that they're back, and they're back with a Punisher special. And
Nice.
John Bernthal is co-writing it, which is insanely exciting, because he should be in the conversation. He fundamentally understands this character, and special presentations are such a great format, and Punisher is so perfect for a format like that. That's coming out next year alongside Daredevil Born Again season 2. So in terms of Daredevil and street level stuff, we're going to be feasting next year. So yeah, you got to get his input, man. He's just simply too important. But yeah, that was the episode. I think we broke it down as much as we need to. I'm just relieved. Thank God this is working for me. Thank God this is working for us. There's still flaws, but let's let them cook, because they've certainly proved that they can do something with the setup. They can do something and get us invested. So we're along for the ride. Just keep it up. I'm just gonna be thinking about that Matt and Frank scene. Like, I just think it's so great. It's gonna live in my head, bro. It's so great. It's promising. It's just a really, really, really good episode. I'm enjoying the show so far. Let's keep it up, man. And regarding next week, yeah, episode 5 and 6 in the same night. Let's go.
Please let them be good. I can't go through episode 1 and 2 one night again.
Hopefully it's like the better version of what we experienced, where we're laughing and also enjoying ourselves. Matt's training on the rooftop. I think the reason why they're releasing episode 5 and 6 together is because our boy's gonna be suiting up. Like, we might not get straight Daredevil action, but he's gonna come to terms with being Daredevil and own up to it. And we're gonna get a really cool 3-episode arc with Muse and Punisher. I think those last 3 episodes are like the newer episodes that Dario Scartapane wrote for the overhaul of the show. So that's like new footage and new ideas, and we'll see about that. But 5 and 6 is the same night, bro. I'm ready. Haven't watched the episode yet. Yeah, in terms of how you'll feel, I mean, you weren't crazy about episode 3 the way that we really liked it, so you might not be so crazy about episode 4. But in terms of Punisher's my boy, so this will fuck me up if it's bad. I expect this will be the highlight of the season for me. John Bernthal has straight integrity. He has inherent love and fundamental love for this character. He didn't like we just talked about, he didn't like how he was written in the previous, the pre-overhaul stage of this show, and he got invited into the conversation, and they fixed it. And I do think they fixed it. I think that the highlight will be the Matt Frank conversation for you. I think it brings back those Netflix Daredevil vibes. It breaks down Matt as a character. Just watching that scene, I think a lot of us, the majority of us, agree that, like, as Frank's talking, that's straight Punisher. That's like, we're back, baby. It was a great feeling just to hear him say red, bro. Like, oh man, I missed it. I missed it. I miss Netflix era sometimes, and I definitely missed his charisma, his versatility, his performance. Just that raw, natural, real energy. It was great. It was great. I didn't expect Punisher so soon into the series, so the fact that we got him in 4, and it's just things to come, it's great. But JG, any final thoughts on this episode?
Yeah, final thoughts. I thought they did a great job, especially with a heavy dialogue-driven episode. They did a lot with it. Of course, a therapy session, I'm still not on board with that unless they do something with it in the long run. But yeah, overall, I think the show's going in the right direction. That dynamic between Frank and Matt, it's they need each other. They need each other. They work so well together. Even if it's just the back and forth conversations, you can't help but just listen to it. But yeah, I think this show is going in the right direction. I hope it keeps going. Episode 5, 6 next week. Please be good. I'm begging you. Please be good.
It's episode 3, 4. Keep it up, and we're gonna be feasting next week. That dynamic just between Matt and Frank, I'm never gonna get over it. It's just so great, and seeing them team up, despite their differences, coming together to be badasses and just to have that after years of Netflix, Marvel being gone, it's gonna hit, bro. It's gonna hit. 1 batch, 2 batch, penny and dime, baby. Yeah. You do get that Frank exploration. He revisits, inherently important aspects to him, and they just have a great dialogue together. I think you might really appreciate that. At the end of the day, Fisk, Matt, and Frank are perfectly cast. I just feel the overall season and writing and lackluster side characters will drag it down. I guess I'm going to see it through, though. Totally fair. I'm not entirely won over yet. I do have my criticism still, but I'm going to let them cook. And right now, for me and for JG and for a lot of people, it's promising. I think they're going in the right direction. And, even though episodes 1 and 2 are rough, like, if the rest of the season is pretty good, really good, great, I'm going to walk away happy. And, we'll see 5 and 6 next week. But yeah, that's been the episode. Very relieved, very happy with it. And next week we're going to get it. But thanks to everyone who joined in the live chat: Movie King, Liam, Film Elitist, GGC, welcome to the channel. Great to have you here. Anza, Big Bro, and Hero Haven. I ascended watching this episode. Yeah, man. When it gets good, it gets good. I had just a wide ass grin on my face when Matt and Frank have their dialogue. You just can't help. You can't help to just love it. It's so good, man. Oh man. Gonna work on my OBS, but still be on. Appreciate it. They should do Daredevil, Blade, Punisher, Ghost Rider, characters like that as their own thing. Black Label, Marvel Knights. I would love Black Label and Marvel Knights. Midnight Suns, that kind of thing would be fire. Yeah. Blade, which is I sometimes I just like sit down and like think like, nothing was done with Blade today. Like, I'm just thinking, like, just the inactivity on some days. Like, they may be trying to crack it on some days, and some days, other days, they're just like, yeah, we're going to focus on something else. We're just, let's leave Blade alone for a day. I'm like, guys, get that right, please. It's Blade. But the beauty of this show, and what I think they're nailing, is the real street ground level aspect to it. Like it feels very like you'll have your MCU references, like the scroll reference. I thought was I wasn't expecting that. But it's like, it feels very on the ground, very ground level. They're talking about, the infrastructure. They're talking about the trash on the streets. They're talking about, just these very ground level, relatable New York things that I'm like, yeah, this is not a world ending threat. This is like, we're in the heart of New York. New York is a character in it of itself, which is good. That's what I want. And so I feel like, it's in the MCU, but I feel like we're having a contained story right now, which is good. Keep that up. But yeah, that's been the episode. That's been the episode, guys. Appreciate all of you popping in. JG, where can people find you?
JG Shaolin Terrific, the undefeated, undisputed final boss of the 36 champions of Shaolin. Wire! Catch me live Wednesday nights on the OOC with the host Anzo, aka the Abbott and the Osiris of the Sheet, Spliff King and the Professor of Ganja, alongside his co-host Roberto, aka Mr. 100, aka No Trouble Did Anything Gonna Be Irie, No Woman, No Cry. Of course, you can always catch me here with my brother, the Hermano de Otra Madre de Pacific, Nueva York. Super wise with these watch parties and any other thing he wants me to be a part of. I'm always there. Please check out my uncle on the GGC. Thank you so much, Super Wise, for checking us out. We got some big things coming over there. And that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Love to hear it, man. So we will be back next week for episode 5 and 6 of Daredevil Born Again. We're looking forward to it. Till then, guys, thank you for joining. Take care. We'll see you on the next one.